I don't really know how to critique music. If I think it sounds good, I think it sounds good. Sonic CD has an incredible soundtrack. Soundtracks. Wait, there are two soundtracks? Yeah, for some reason, Sonic CD has a Japanese and American soundtrack. And I don't really know why. Sonic 1 didn't have two soundtracks. Hell, most games don't have two soundtracks. You know, it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna talk about every track in the game, because combining both the Japanese and US soundtracks, that's over 60 songs, and I actually want to finish making this video. So I'm just gonna talk about some songs I particularly like and don't like. I fucking love Sonic Boom, a very bombastic song for the opening, and what I'm pretty sure is the first vocal Sonic song. Japanese Palmtree Panic is just really good. Very fast paced and bouncy. Tidal Tempest starts off pretty eerie, but as soon as the drums and pianos come in, it stays at a pretty slow tempo. It gives off a mysterious and nostalgic feeling. I mean, it's a water level. Of course it has good music. US Tidal Tempest is really weird. It has a lot more funk to it. It's very different compared to the Japanese one's slow and quiet feeling, and it even has vocals. It does not fit this level at all, but I like it more. Remember when I said I'd stop talking about Wacky Workbench? I lied. Since the level is much farther into the game, it's much more electronic compared to the past songs. Eggman's presence is much stronger here than something in like Palmtree Panic. The song's also just really catchy. It's probably one of my favorites. Again, the US tracks do not fit these levels at all, but they're still really good. Fucking Home Depot, fuck your Home Depot sound. Man, I'm surprised I went through Wacky Workbench without complaining like a bitch and actually complimented it a little bit. The level still sucks dick. I need to talk about the boss tracks. The Japanese one is very funky and mechanical, but it has a sense of unease. So, what does the US version sound like? Well, I don't hate this version. Heck, I kinda like it. But why? Why does it sound like this? I highly recommend listening to both soundtracks. I forgot to mention this during the gameplay portion, but because of the time travel gimmick of going back to the future and past, there are 7 zones in the game. That's 21 levels in all. But each of those acts have a past, future, present, and good future. That means overall, this game has 84 levels, and all versions of the level have 4 different tracks. We have 7 levels, all with 4 variations, coming from 2 completely different soundtracks. I don't know. That's just kind of crazy to me. Overall, music good. Now then, wait, I feel like there's something I missed. A very specific music track, and something or someone very important. Oh, I think it's time to talk about him. Our Lord and Savior, Metal Sonic. His design is just perfect. A true lookalike of our hero. He's just so fucking cool, man. I'm a huge fan of the doppelganger / rebel trope, and a hero needing a dark reflection of themselves is something I just really find captivating. The Sonic series will later continue this rebel thing multiple times in the future. They'll do it again, and 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 again. But they'll never top the king, baby! Our precious little boy appears in Act 1 of Collision Chaos by breaking through the spikes and kidnapping Amy. And he doesn't appear until Act 3 of Stardust Speedway, one of the last 4 acts of the game. God damn it. It's time to talk about Metal Sonic's boss fight. It's not my favorite because it's the best and most well-designed and fun boss. Well, it is. But it's not just the gameplay that makes me love this boss so much. Stardust Speedway Bad Future is just incredible. The level and the song, the dark red clouds, the purple lights on the buildings, the lightning in the background, combined with an overall gloomy and dark color palette, really sets the stage for a climatic final battle. And the goddamn music. What an excellent track. The menacing sirens in the background and the that's sprinkled throughout the song. And that piano, man! All of this combined makes an excellent background track for a deadly race. Speaking of which, I know I was done talking about the gameplay, but again, this is such a fun fight, or rather a fun race. We start at the beginning of the stage, with Eggman just behind you shooting his pistol laser on the ground, showing to both Sonic and the player that if you lose this race or fuck up too many times, it's over. Eggman wins. The super palette really shines here, being able to blast through the stage and keep it with metal, as well as a bunch of obstacles in the way such as spikes and big walls that block you. Metal attacks you with a ring spark field, creating an electric barrier around him that hurts Sonic on contact. If you're outrunning him, Metal uses a move called V Maximum Overdrive Attack. Look, I've never heard of these fucking names before. I'm just looking up all this shit on the wiki. I mean, it's a cool name though. Once you make it to the finish line, a gate closes, with Metal fucking crashing into the wall and destroying himself in the process. You free and save Amy, and next level. What the hell? Okay. Metal was in multiple commercials. He kidnapped Amy very early. The game, the marketing, everything was setting him up as a big threat for the entire game. He's even on the Japanese, European, and American box arts. Right there, front and center. And he's only in 2 levels. One of them being a cutscene, and the other one being a minute-long level. My biggest problem with Metal is that he's severely underutilized in this game. And trust me, this is gonna be a problem with Metal Sonic. But let's not talk about that. We can save that for later videos. I love Metal Sonic. He's one of my favorite Sonic characters. He's the best Sonic character. He's the best character in fiction. Objectively the best. But if you disagree with me on that's okay. It's your opinion. Oh, also, real quick, could you check your mailbox for just a quick second? We're at the end of the game with Metallic Madness Act 3 and its final boss, which both suck dick. Sonic destroys the egg spinner, finally stopping Eggman's plan, and he saves the day. He grabs Amy while escaping, and we're treated to a final cutscene. And that's it. We beat the game, but something feels off. Wait. I got the bad ending? Well, since I missed one generator, my entire playthrough was null and void. Okay. Let's say you did get all the time stones or the robot generators. What do you get? Sonic's face appears on top of Little Planet, it floats away, and then Sonic does a cool pose. And you see some flowers after the credits. What the fuck? Why is the bad ending cooler? You have this cute little scene of Sonic hurling a rock at Eggman, causing him to crash and die. Okay, I'm just nitpicking at this point. Either way, I'm mostly satisfied with how this game ends, with a beautifully animated cutscene. But we're not quite done with the game yet. The Sonic series, like most franchises, has changed a lot throughout its 30-year lifespan, when it comes to its gameplay and theming, or rather its message as well. In the early years of the franchise, mainly Sonic 1 and 2, it had one main message: nature versus technology. I debated myself whether I should put this here, or I should just make a separate video after I finished all the classic Sonic games. But I think it's best to add it here, because the environmental message of Sonic is, in Sonic CD, at its strongest and most important. When going into the future, you can see how Eggman completely roboticized the entire zone. It shows how far Eggman is willing to go to get his selfish desires, completely destroying this lush, colorful planet. Sonic 1 had this environmental storytelling as well, Eggman kidnapping these little animals to use them as batteries for his badniks. Going through the levels, they slowly get more and more mechanical and technological. The nature versus technology message is even more prominent in CD. And Sonic the Hedgehog, TM, is, at this point in the series, a force of nature, like the wind. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being super pretentious right now, but like, come on, they beat you over the head with this kind of stuff. But what I love about the theming in this point in the series, it's not just technology le bad. When you go back to the past and destroy the robot generators, and go back to the present, and then go back to the future, you don't just have a technological nightmare or a land full of flowers. It's a beautiful mix of technology and nature. Sonic being able to truly beat Eggman paves the way to a truly great future. That is classic Sonic's message. Fuck. Okay, are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Are we fucking done? Oh, okay, nope, I wrote more. Okay, we're not done. We're not fucking done. Of course we're not. The 2012 remaster has a lot of quality of life improvements and extras that really made this version, at the time, the best way to experience Sonic CD. Obviously, the game being in widescreen is a big plus. We have this stylized menu that looks really cool. You can choose between the Japanese and US soundtracks, and you can choose what version of Spin Dash you want to use. And it even has achievements. You know, stuff like traveling through time, getting a hug from Amy, beating the game, getting all the time stones, simple stuff like that. We even have one where you have to complete Time Attack in under 25 minutes. Speaking of which, I'm not really going to talk about Time Attack right now. I'll probably save it for when I'm done talking about the 2D Sonic games. But all I'll say now is, Time Attack is the very reason why I love 2D Sonic games so much. It is something you need to experience at least once when playing these games. The 2012 remaster is incredible, and I could not recommend it enough. But there's just one tiny problem. You can't buy it anymore. When Origins was announced, the original classic Sonic games were delisted, and that includes the 2012 remaster. And to be honest, it's a really scummy move on Sega's part. But hey, Origins isn't that bad. It's a fine way to play the classic Sonic games, and that's all I'll say about it for now. But if you want to play Sonic CD in the best way possible, you got two options. The decompilation of Sonic CD is really simple, but really cool as well. It's essentially just an expanded version of the Steam and mobile port. And it's also moddable. Stuff like giving Sonic a few new moves and even a new playable character. A strange red character. The decompilation is really cool and a great way to experience the game. But I think there's another version you should play.
Holy moly.
This is it. The definitive way to play Sonic CD. A few more gameplay options, a customizable music, and being able to play all versions of the levels just by choosing it in another menu. And Amy's even playable. Oh, and you can mod it as well. It's just so good, man. I love Sonic CD. It's wonderful art style, fantastic music, a great way of getting its message and story across, and mostly smooth gameplay. I can't help but love it. Sure, it has its problems, having some confusing and downright awful level design at points. Not compared to the first game, but still. And heavily underutilizing Metal Sonic. But I'd still say the good outweighs the bad for me. I think Sonic CD is a pretty damn good game. Like a 7 at the very least. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw.
Welcome back.
What the fuck?